Welcome back. I'm so happy to see you. This is our 4th episode in the Lessons from Girlfriends series. I am so excited that y'all are here today. Get your drink, get your food. We gonna hang out and have some talk today. And we're talking about perfectionism. We're talking about, more specifically, fear of commitment as a result of. So if you have not seen the other episodes about Maya, Joan, and Tony, please check out the first 3 episodes of this series. They are already posted. There will be an episode posted every week, and there is 10 episodes in this particular series. And I'm so excited because I've already started developing the follow-up series, which will be about relationships. So make sure you like and subscribe because we are going to get into all the things. So, y'all, Lynn is very near and dear to my heart, not in that I have an issue with commitment, because I don't. I do not have an issue with commitment. I typically struggle with perfectionism, wanting something to be right out the gate, or struggling with the emotional response when it's not. And I've gotten better over time, especially because owning a business has humbled me so much. There's so many things I get wrong. Mistakes that I make, and you just have to take it as par for the course. When you're growing, when you're building, when you're learning, that should be just the expectation. You're going to give and do your very best, and then you will adjust and make the necessary adjustments to fix whatever needs to be fixed. But it will never be all right, and that is okay. It is okay. And Lynn has been such an interesting character because you have this beautiful woman who is so tremendously educated, but so interpersonally damaged. And you see that through her, like, working through her being adopted and her relationships with her foster parents, her biological parents, and then now she is surrounded by these group of women who are successful in their own rights, and she is just trying to find her lane. And again, she has, I think, 3 or 4 degrees, and her fear of getting out into the world and adulting was so daunting to her, because what if I get out there and I fail? Which I think serves as an experience for a lot of people, their fear of actually pursuing their dreams, their ideas. I mean, even committing in relationships, because what if I fail, or what if I get abandoned, or my biggest fear is that I won't be able to recover. But we forget that we've recovered from so much worse. We forget that we are built to withstand. And even though we may experience disappointment or rejection, or something may not work out, that too will be the past at some point. And in order for us to get there, we have to get through this, because hopefully that is teaching us the lesson we need to learn to get to the place that we want to be. But we cannot get there without it. So we have to be willing to embrace making mistakes, not being perfect, learning on the fly, embracing the fear of commitment, but also still committing otherwise, if that makes sense. So Lynn is a very interesting character because, although she is so intelligent, she struggles with common sense, and she struggles with being able to invest herself in something that she can accomplish. But interestingly enough, she invested in so many other things. She takes risks that most people wouldn't. She doesn't mind begging or asking for help, or sleeping on people's couches, or taking handouts, which for a lot of adults, because of their fear of, like, people throwing things in their face and all of that, that would be more of a risk than committing to a job or committing to a career. That would be more of a risk for most people, is taking, like, asking for all these things or taking all of the handouts. But she didn't mind doing that. She was okay, because I also think that validated something she couldn't lose at. You can't lose at something you really never invested in. And she was okay leaning into the people who loved her, which, might I add, is a strength in some way, not in that exaggerated fashion, because obviously she was enabled to continue to not invest or commit to her future and herself and her dreams and her goals, because she would lean so far into other people until she had to, until Joan kicked her out, until she had nowhere else to go. And when she invested and truly committed to her music career, it changed everything for her. Her trajectory changed the moment she committed. So I want to take you guys back to that moment after this brief commercial. This is my app that I built myself. So I hope that you get a little information about it. And if you're interested in downloading it, you will have the opportunity. So this is Sifted.
Meet Sifted, the AI-powered life operating system designed to bring clarity, focus, and control to everything you do. Tasks, goals, calendar. Sifted brings it all together into one intelligent command center. Plan smarter with powerful task and goal management. Got thoughts, ideas, or mental clutter? Just drop everything into Mind Laundry and let AI instantly organize it into clear, actionable items. Manage every venture from one intelligent business hub with Sifted. Create, organize, and scale your operations with clarity and efficiency. Meet Vera, your built-in AI assistant. From planning and brainstorming to scheduling and decisions, Vera helps you move faster and think clearer. Sifted works across all your devices. Start your plan with flexible and affordable options. Visit sifted.one and start your free 14-day trial today.
So we are back. And again, I'm going to put the QR code up. If you're interested in checking Sifted out, again, I built it with love, with hard work, sweat, and tears. So let me know how you enjoy it. And let's get into all the things. We're now going to look at the clip of Lynn.
Yeah, you should come down tonight and check it out.
We would love to.
Okay, well, there's a cover.
Does that mean a charge or a roof? No, you need to ask. With her, you don't know.
Oh, we're just in time. There's...
I don't get it. Where's your guitar?
Y'all, that clip is so funny to me because this is the epitome of that. This was her telling them she like got this really great opportunity to sing her songs, or like sing rather, them not knowing what that meant. And again, with Maya, like, you never know what Lynn is up to. You cannot trust her. You have to ask specific questions. And they still didn't ask enough questions because they clearly walked into her doing karaoke. Again, instead of me going into a space where I have to do original works, or I am taking what I can get. So I actually didn't fail. And then consistently being willing to quit everything. Do you guys remember the episode where she had a sit down with her parents and they were like, look, we're tired of taking care of you. We're tired of paying your student loans. Like, we want to be able to be set free. We want to be able to live our lives. We need you to take care of yourself. Stop quitting these jobs, really buckle down and like do the adult thing. And she could not fathom why they were wanting to not take care of her, and not even considering, hey, you are not doing a due diligence to yourself by not even giving yourself the opportunity to even see if it's possible. Like, you could take care of yourself if you just tried. And then the other is like, what is fear of success versus fear of failure? It is also very much a thing where you have people that are so afraid of what would happen if they became successful. They sabotage their opportunities. They don't even give themselves the opportunity enough to be successful because they don't know what's going to happen. Am I going to lose relationships? Are people going to abandon me? Are people going to just want me because I'm successful? What if I can't keep it up? I would love to just stay here and not have anything than to have success and lose it. So both of those things exist in very similar fashions of being afraid of success and failure, and doing it for very similar reasons, which is really interesting. And then I want to briefly talk about perfectionism paralysis, which is simply just kind of talks about how, again, and this is something I struggle with, if it's not perfect, it can't be complete, or it's not accomplishable, or even though you've accomplished it because you didn't get straight A's, it's not really valuable. All of those things are not true. And perfectionism is a delusion. None of us will get everything or anything perfect or absolutely right. So the idea is move through the fear and anxiety anyway. Allow yourself to explore that space and invalidate that fear by going through with it. Like, that's the thing. The more that you don't go through with it is the more you validate the need to have the fear in the first place. So we're going to pause right here because, of course, it is time for Reddit. Let's get into a Reddit. I love this. I love Reddits. I, 33 male, have an irrational fear of commitment. Just broke up with another girlfriend, great girl, 35 female, and I am worried about future relationships. We've been dating for 11 months. She was supposed to move into my place last month. I delayed. She kept pushing. I fled. Here's the pattern. Pursuit, Pursuit, honeymoon, the turn, decline. This can be months or years. Eventually, I get to the point where making any type of future plans gives me anxiety. I avoid any type of relationship talk. The more she pushes for commitment, the more I pull away. The breakup. My commitment phobia is at its peak, and I view our relationship very similar to how a claustrophobic person would view an elevator. At this point, I have completely disconnected from the relationship, and I want out. Aftermath. Immediately following the breakup, I have an immense sense of relief. My anxiety are now gone. Rekindled love. With my commitment fears gone, I now look at my ex like I did when I was pursuing. What an awesome girl she is. What was I thinking? As you can imagine, this internal dialogue has led to getting back together with the ex. Each time the cycle repeats itself, just on a condensed time frame. This is the third serious relationship that has followed this exact pattern: 8 years, 3 years, 11 months. I want to have kids and raise a family. Living with a girlfriend doesn't scare me, but the idea of what comes next does. I went to therapy specifically for this issue during my second relationship. I went to over 20 sessions before and during and after the decline phase. After the breakup, I stopped going. Again, now you don't have the anxiety anymore. I have never been unfaithful and have never cheated and have never been cheated on, as far as I know. Over 10 years ago in college, I was followed by the FBI for months, and my best friend at the time turned narc and testified against me for drug charges. I went to jail for a few months as a result. I have ADD, take Adderall for it. My parents are happily married. I otherwise look and act like a successful member of society, good group of friends, good career, independent, happy, and healthy. This is really beautifully written, and I love that they were aware of their pattern. And this is what I will say. Fear of failure can look just like this, and that's how I read it. Once I commit to this person, once we, get married, once I have all these responsibilities and roles, will I fail? Will I live up to all of that? Will they stay with me? Will they abandon me? Will I be able to perform and be able to show up for my kids, for my family? How is this going to affect me long term? And then again, that's why they get the immense sigh of relief once they're broken up, because now all of that is not even a possibility. Now I've taken it off the table. There is no pressure for me to do something I don't feel like I can successfully accomplish, or I might actually fail at. And then the cycle continues, because let's be clear, investments, relationships require risk. Your dreams, pursuing them, business, whatever that is, requires risk. Anything that you decide, your dreams, your goals, your desires, it requires a level of risk. Now, how you envision that or kind of process that is individualized, but it requires a level of risk, a level of vulnerability and investment, because we could get fired from that job. We could not get that degree. We could give up on ourselves. They could break up with us. They could say, hey, you're not good enough. You're not doing enough. At some point, everything must end, but it doesn't have to end today, and it doesn't mean that we failed. So it's also one of those things where You have to be willing to take the risk and get through the anxiety that will exist for you, because that is something that is validating the fear. Once you get past that, it can also validate the opposite of that. But you have to give yourself an opportunity to do that. If you don't, the cycle will absolutely continue, and you will not see the opportunity for change. And these patterns, that exact pattern is the self-sabotage. I'm excited, I feel all the things, we're good. And the moment that I have to show up in ways that I either don't know how, I'm afraid of, or whatever, then I sabotage the experience. And because then I get the immediate relief. And I will also say social media has not helped with comparison. It has not helped with people believing the grass is greener on the other side, and really a grass is not even on the other side of whatever they think is on the other side. Like, access has made people delusional. It has made people delusioned into believing things they don't even want, and that's not for them, they need to have because other people have it. And that in and of itself is just an opportunity for disillusion and failure and sabotage. These are the things I would challenge you to walk away with. Identifying the root cause of your commitment issues. Are you afraid of success, failure, or both? To explore how perfectionism can lead to self-sabotage and disrupt your goals. And how often has it done that? To identify what your pattern is, and then recognizing the pattern and indicating the commitment phobia and a commitment to addressing it. Have you been to therapy? What is your plan on moving past this particular issue? Are you committed to letting it control you? And reflect on what you're avoiding with the concept of commitment and how it's impacted your life, because it has, and it will continue to. And of course, hopefully in therapy, you develop strategies to overcome your fears and embrace commitment for personal growth. And I will say this, if you don't walk away with anything else, you have to know that there are a lot of times where you just have to be afraid to do it anyway. Because if you don't, it will validate that the fear was valid. The fear is what you should have been playing into this whole time. Give yourself a chance. Stick with this series. Give me your feedback. Drop some down in the comments. Let me know if this applies to you. Share with someone that this does apply to. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Bye.